Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about Szczesny because after the match, he spoke about his future, and I'm going to be talking about that contract extension that Barcelona they have offered to him, and as well giving you guys an update in regards to Raphinha's renewal and Hansi Flick's future. I have positive news in regards to that. But as always, guys, make sure to follow me all of my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. As well, the link to become a member is also posted down below. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's talk about Szczesny because Szczesny, after the match against Real Madrid, he was actually a little bit emotional. He was actually in tears. And he was asked about that. After the press conference, he also speaks about his contract situation. He speaks about his future, and what Szczesny he does say in the post match, he says Barca offered me a 2-year contract extension. Now I need to talk to my wife and decide whether to stay or retire again. He talked about those emotions. He says I always try to control my emotions and not show them, whether good or bad. But after the final whistle, it was very hard for me. My eyes filled with tears. It was a wonderful moment. And he talks about Barcelona's level. He says, "I was retired, and I find myself in this. It might sound strange because Inter knocked us out, but this Barca is the best team in the world right now. What these young players are doing is amazing and deserves a reward. It's a shame we couldn't win everything, but we were close. And something very important is being built for the future." And I completely agree right there with what Szczesny is saying. We can talk about this in multiple levels. First, on his future. So Barcelona, they have offered him a contract extension. We know that Joan Laporta and the board, they have been happy with the work that he's been doing. And I actually don't know whether Szczesny is going to want to stay or to retire again. Because when you think about it, you've won the domestic treble, you've won the Supercopa de España, you've won the Copa del Rey, and you've won the La Liga title. Coming off of retirement, that is absolutely crazy. And so, you coming in as the backup goalkeeper, as a replacement for Ter Stegen in this short term, what better way is there to leave? And he's gonna have that conversation and with his family, with his wife, and everything. And that's why I think he was moved to tears in the post match. Why he was crying because of this wonderful moment, because of what it means for him. Coming off of retirement and playing for Barcelona and the best team in the world right now. Szczesny, he gives credit to Mbappé and he says, honestly, I admire Mbappe's mentality. Even when things get really tough for his team, he doesn't give up. I think he's the player who scored the most goals against me. In 4 or 5 games, he's scored 8 or 9 goals. And he's been, Barcelona's nemesis so far. But the most important thing is that Barcelona, they have been able to get the victory in those games despite Mbappe's goals. But I ask you guys, do you guys think that Szczesny, he's going to want to retire or he's going to want to continue at Barcelona? Because, there is no better way to go out than coming off of, a domestic treble. Well, obviously coming off of an actual treble, winning the Champions League would have been absolutely perfect. But coming off of retirement and winning 3 trophies and going back into retirement, that would be a fantastic way to go. And so I ask you guys, what are your thoughts on that situation? But now moving on, now guys, I want to be talking about Raphinha because Raphinha, we know that Barcelona, they are looking to renew his contract, and that negotiation actually very close to finalizing a deal. There's only a few details left to sort out, the release clause, sort of the salary and everything like that. But there aren't any issues. Barcelona want to get the deal done. Raphinha wants to stay, and thus I think that both parties are going to be reaching an agreement in order to have Raphinha stay. And looking at Raphinha for the future, he's been absolutely phenomenal this season, arguably the best player in the world alongside Lamine Yamal and Pedri. He's been so clutch for Barcelona in these games, and with his contract potentially being extended to 2029, he would be staying and basically ending off his career at Barcelona. And I ask you guys, What level do you guys think that Raphinha will be able to have next season? Do you guys think that he's going to be able to duplicate this level? Or do you guys think that, hey, Raphinha, let's renew him, but at the same time, look for options in the market as he potentially won't be able to match that level? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And the last piece of news I did want to discuss with you guys today is in regards to Hansi Flick, because there is more positive news on this front, and the deal between Hansi Flick and Barcelona, the contract extension until 2027, everything is done. Only thing that is missing is the signature and for Barcelona to officially announce the extension. Barcelona, they're just waiting for the team to secure the La Liga title and to celebrate in order to announce it. And honestly, I think this is a fantastic move from Barcelona. I think, since you could say Luis Enrique, since Pep Guardiola, we haven't felt this way as Barcelona fans, where you've just said, hey, this is the best team in the world. There is absolutely nothing that can be done, against Barcelona. And I do think that that Joan Laporta and the board should be doing everything in their power to support Hansi Flick. And obviously, one of the things that I am sad about is that Hansi Flick, there are some reports that are saying that he views Barcelona as his last team. He will not be coaching or managing any other team after Barcelona. He's going to be retiring and everything like that. And as well, he wouldn't want to be staying here long term. He would want to stay here for maybe 3 years max, and then after that, go off into the sunset. And looking at his style of play, it makes sense. In the hyper aggressive way that Barcelona they are playing. Some questions about sustainability have been posed, though I doubt those concerns. But he does give that sense of just saying, hey, he wants to create history at Barcelona and just move on. It doesn't seem sort of like a project that of you see maybe like of a Pep Guardiola or an Arteta, and in that sort of mode necessarily. But this contract extension being finalized, absolutely brilliant. Hansi Flick, the work that he's been able to do this season, transforming this Barcelona team with very limited resources, has been out of this world. And later on tonight, guys, when we have our weekly episode, we're going to be talking about Hansi Flick's season, analyzing and giving our thoughts about the overall season and what could potentially be coming next season. We're going to be talking about that on the channel, so make sure to tune in for that. But guys, that was it for the Barcelona news of the day. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys make of everything that I have discussed on today's video? And as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Wow.